This is 69 News Live at Sunrise. Your life, your world, your news. 69 News Live at Sunrise starts now.
All right, Matt, thank you. Well, the holiday season is just about here, and many of us will soon be faced with mile-long to-do lists. A common area of stress for many people is, of course, getting the homes ready for the holidays. Productivity expert Neen joins me now with some advice on what we can do now to ensure a less stressful holiday season later. Neen, good morning.
G'day, how you doing?
Good, great, thank you. Thanks so much for being here. So, you know, it's hard to believe the holidays are right around the corner with the temperatures that Matt just talked about, but now is the time to prepare, right?
Exactly. It's the best time because you can get ahead of everyone else, and that's definitely more productive.
Yeah, and let's talk about some of the productivity mistakes that people tend to make this time of year. Where do they go wrong, Neen?
You know, I think what happens is we say yes to too many things when really no is a very productive word. We worry too much. We stress about a lot of things, and many people leave things to the last minute, which obviously increases their stress levels.
Right, and those things kind of carry on over the whole holiday season, making it just a stressful mess if you don't.
Yeah, imagine this year deciding this will be a productive, stress-free holiday, and making that decision, that mindset will change the way your holidays are this year.
Sounds good. So how hard is it to have a headache-free holiday season?
It's not hard at all.
Okay.
We have to remember the holidays is about celebrating with people we love. It's not about the number of gifts you buy or the big meal that you put on. It's about the people, and when we remember that, there's no reason for a headache.
Okay, great. So let's talk about how we do it, Neen, because I know a headache-free holiday is music to the ears of a lot of our viewers. You say you are always ready for guests at the James household.
Correct. We have our guest room permanently set up. It is always clean with fresh linens, towels. We even have robes and slippers in there just for our guests. Our friends and family call it the James Resort and Spa.
Wow, I got to pay a visit. Do you have to book now for next year? Okay. And I know that you even go an extra step and kind of include some little things from your area for out-of-town guests, which I love.
We do. So think about last time you stayed at a hotel. There's often brochures and things about the area. So we include tourist books, a list of websites they might like, timetables for all the public transport, and also our favorite places to visit. That way, when they go into the room, they have everything they need. And it's a great idea to include water, snacks, things that make them feel at home.
Okay, so then if your, aunt, grandma calls and says, Neen, I'm coming over the day before, you don't have to scramble because you're already ready.
They come a long way from Australia, so I'd probably have a day's notice. But yeah, if you have a party and your guests want to stay over, you know that the guest room is permanently set up.
Super. Okay, so how about once the guests arrive and it's time to enjoy the holidays, you say to live lean. What do you mean by that, Neen?
Living lean is about worrying less about the money and making more about the memories. We spend an enormous amount of time, energy, and attention on the holidays. But imagine if we stopped worrying so much about the money and we made it more about creating experiences people would remember. That's what living lean is.
Okay, and I know some people might be wondering, can you still enjoy it if you don't have all the gifts?
You can, but I think you've got to be creative, Eve. There's ways to do it. Instead of buying everything, can you reuse things? Can you look around your home for decorating ideas? Maybe pull out grandma's beautiful things that you never use. Don't use the disposables. How about making it special by reusing things in your home for decorating and entertaining?
Okay, and how about if you do want to do some form of a gift? What kind of lean gift ideas do you have?
I would reach out to people and say, how about we not exchange gifts this year? Can we just do something special? My girlfriends and I do a high tea as a celebration instead of exchanging gifts. Maybe, sorry.
I was going to say, you'll be so proud of me because I actually did that this morning.
Oh,
I just emailed my friends, I promise, and I said, instead I don't need anything. So let's create a memory. Let's go to a nice dinner and all spend on ourselves. So I followed James.
You could even put people's names in a hat if you do have to buy gifts, but buy one gift and make it a surprise. Get creative, create an experience, have a meal together like you're doing with your friends, but find ways where you're not spending money, but you're spending time, because time is such a valuable asset to share with people.
Great. And if you are having a party, you say don't be afraid to tell people to bring stuff.
Sure, because then your dishes are quite eclectic. Your table looks fabulous with people's favorite meal. If you're having a cocktail event, get people to bring the ingredients and have some fun creating a menu together.
Love it. So what do you think the major benefits are of being lean this holiday season?
You know, this has been a tough year for some people, and some people have had an amazing year. So I think it takes the stress out of the holidays. We're not worried about everything looking perfect. We're not worried about our bank account or those credit card bills in January. If you have a lean holiday this season, you'll have a much more productive next year as well.
Super. And Neen has many more great tips in your book. Where can folks find your book?
On my website, neenjames.com, or Amazon is another place.
Okay, great. Easy to find. All right, Neen, thanks so much. So coming up, we're going to talk about this concept of living lean and how it applies to the stress at work. So tips for that coming up right after this break. Well, today we are talking about eliminating the holiday headaches that tend to surface this time of year. Yes, Neen says it can be done. Productivity expert Neen James gave us some tips that apply to the home during our last segment, but how about at work? She joins me now to tell us how to handle the holiday hustle and bustle at the office. Neen, good morning once again.
G'day.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think it's hard to believe. No holiday headaches, but pretty easy, especially if you start now, like you said.
Correct.
And what are we talking about when we're talking about living lean at the workplace?
You know, the first thing I would suggest is let's live lean with our meetings. We have way too many meetings. Maybe as a leader, you can reduce the number of meetings over the holidays, or even better, cancel some of those unnecessary meetings. Give people the permission not to attend. If you can't cancel them, can you cut them in half? Living lean is about being conscious of people's time. Maybe let's not interrupt them as much as we do. So is there a way to reduce both the meetings and the interruptions of other people?
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about interruptions. How can you assess, you know, how many times, or you say you should assess how many times you're interrupted at work?
For sure. Take a track, and one really quick strategy you can try that my clients love when I share with them is when someone walks into your space, stand up. So a standing meeting is a quick meeting. You can look people in the eye, and people that visit don't know if you're leaving or you're staying, and so what you can do is get to the point really quickly. Now, you might hate me the first day that you do it, but I tell you what, it'll really reduce the time that not only the meeting takes place, but the interruptions you get.
Okay, good. So just kind of speeds things along a little bit. What about when people say, oh, Neen, do you have a minute? Do you have a second? How do you respond?
It's never a minute,
No,
and
it's
it's
never
never a second.
No.
You and I both know that. So what you can do is, after you've stood up, you can say, let's schedule time to connect, because I want to give you my undivided attention. Think about all those requests for time. Everyone will give you as much time as you will generously give them.
Okay.
But maybe if you schedule the time, it'll be more productive.
Okay, and the holidays can also be a time of excess in communications. What tips do you give your clients to deal with this excess in communication?
Technology can help you because you can leave an out-of-office message. You can set it up so it's automated. That's an easy way to do it. Another thing that you can do is you can change your voicemail. Change your voicemail so that you can tell callers what your movements are that week. We do that in my office every week.
Great.
You know all those emails you get around the holidays wishing you a happy holidays?
Of course.
What you can do is just allocate 15 minutes a day. Just go through them, respond to them, and also another thing that makes it really easy is you can be proactive. How about putting a holiday salutation on your email? Every time your email goes out, you're wishing people happy holidays, and that's really neat because then you don't have to send a specific message.
Okay, good little tip. I love the 15 minutes. You always talk about it. Just small amount of time, but can have a big impact on
It can. You can conquer the world in 15 minutes, especially holiday communications.
I'll have to give that a try this afternoon. Now, of course, it's easy to get overwhelmed this time of year. You mentioned earlier saying no to things is perfectly fine. What other tips do you have to help us deal with, you know, the overwhelming feeling of the holidays?
There's so many people that want to see you, so maybe you can get productive and get them together. If you're attending a networking event, can you take a potential client with you, or maybe a friend, and have them meet you there? Instead of seeing lots of people individually, can you organize one group event? Maybe you host a lunch, people bring things and they get to build their network. You're in one location, but you get to see lots of people.
Yeah.
That's productive.
That's a good one, because I get a lot of people who say, you know, can you do lunch? Can we catch up? And of course I want to, but you know, I don't want to be eating lunch, you know, I'll be at 10,000 pounds. I don't want to be going out every single day. You know, a girl's got to sleep, but kind of combine them. It's great, and it's fun to have a little group as well.
It is. Or pick a day of the week that works, and only ever see people on that day. That way you're in control of your calendar.
Super. And more great tips, I'm sure, on neenjames.com.
Correct.
Okay, great. Talk to us a little bit about what you have on your website for folks who have never been.
There's hundreds of articles you can download for free on how to increase the productivity of not only you, but also your team. All of my books are also available on there, and if you need a speaker for your next event, I'd be delighted to talk to you about that. You can find details on neenjames.com.
Great, Neen. Thanks so much. Always so much fun to have you. Now the holidays don't seem so bad. I think we're ready for them. All right, thanks so much. And stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back after these messages.